what did you make of the 49ers brass press conference yesterday and what we can glean about the third overall selection?
So I'll tell you, on a grand scale, I used to laugh at those press conferences. I used to think nothing gets said, you can't learn anything, nobody's going to tip anything. And then a couple years ago, I think probably when I moved into this role, I had our buddy Jack Andrade, who does the research. I said, Jack, can you just comb through these press conferences for me and just see what stands out? And he would, and I'm telling you, Rich, if there's 32 press conferences, maybe 10 to 12, you get something out of there. And this fell into the category of I thought you got something out of this press conference. Definitely, I mean, just everything that was said and how it was said. It just all points to Mac Jones. I think the one line that stood out to me the most was we came into this with one guy in mind when we made the trade, okay? And then he goes, but, and I'm waiting for but, the other guy's caught up. He goes, but he got even better, and so did everybody else. And so I was like, well, that just still, to me, from the words, still points to Mac Jones.
So why does it point to Mac Jones? Because you know that is part of the reason why that press conference took place yesterday, not only because it's usually part and parcel of brass to do that before a draft, but also there is some priming of the 49er fan base pump with already a hue and cry in Northern California about Mac Jones's seemingly imminent drafting, third overall.
Well, I'd say to explain it this way, I do my evaluations somewhat generically, right? So I'm not affiliated with a team, so I'm evaluating the talent and what this guy can be, and that's how I watch him and write him and rank him. Kyle Shanahan is watching and evaluating these guys in a very specific way for how exactly they plug into what he wants to do.
Right.
And I've talked to, trying to do my homework on this pick in the last couple of days, I talked to somebody who had interviewed Kyle for a head coaching job before he got the Niners job. And he said, when we talked about quarterbacks, he said it begins and ends with accuracy. Like, that is the most important thing, is how accurate you are with the football. And that's a huge strength of Mac Jones. So, not the arm strength, not the great athlete. We've heard, obviously you hear about how smart he is, how quick he processes, all those things. But if accuracy is the be-all, end-all, and the guy completed 77% of his passes, he's the most accurate guy right now. So that's why, in my opinion, that's why Kyle is where he is on this evaluation.
Well, Kurt Warner has come out and said, when you have somebody there in Jimmy G and you trade up to get, his replacement and give up all that you're giving up to get the replacement, you get somebody different. I don't need to tell you what Bucky Brooks said on this show because you do a podcast at Move the Sticks with him, equating the Alabama staff and his teammates as the Iron Man suit that makes him a superhero, not who he is without the suit. So why wouldn't it be Lance or Fields, right? Where you go and get somebody who can actually, run out of the pocket and make all those, boots and all the stretch plays actually maybe dangerous from the quarterback keeping it.
That's what I would do, right? So,
right.
That's what I would do. I would take Trey Lance, and I would be okay. If it wasn't Trey Lance, I'd be fine taking Justin Fields. Kind of going through that whole process with both those guys, that would be my choice between those two, because I do think they expand the playbook, and they kind of use kind of a phrase you hear more and more with the NFL right now. You get to play 11 on 11. When you've got your quarterback that can move around and run a little bit, you're no longer playing 10 on 11 anymore. That's somebody that the other side has to worry about. And that to me, I thought that there was a chance that would be what would be really appealing to Kyle Shanahan is here is this unbelievable creative guy who could now change the math with having a quarterback you have to account for, and what can he do with him? We go back to the RG3 and saw what he did there in Washington. I think if he had his choice, he'd much rather have a guy that can process and accurately deliver the football. I just personally believe that both Trey and Justin, while they might not be at Mac Jones' standard of accuracy right now, I think they can get there. I know Mac Jones is never going to acquire the athleticism that those two kids have.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.